Hurin'in, Hurin, The Tale of the Children of Hurin, by J.R.R. Tolkien. Edited by Christopher Tolkien and read by Christopher Lee. Chapter 1. The Childhood of Turin. Hador Goldenhead was a lord of the Edain, and well beloved by the Eldar. He dwelt, while his days lasted, under the lordship of Fingolfin, who gave to him wide lands in that region of Hithlum which was called Dor Lomin. His daughter, Glorethel, wedded Haldir, son of Halmir, lord of the men of Brethil, and at the same feast his son, Galdor the Tall, wedded Hareth, the daughter of Halmir. Galdor and Hareth had 2 sons, Hurin and Huor. Hurin was by 3 years the elder, but he was shorter in stature than other men of his kin. In this he took after his mother's people, but in all else he was like Hador his grandfather, strong in body and fiery of mood. But the fire in him burned steadily, and he had great endurance of will. Of all men of the north he knew most of the counsels of the Noldor. Huor his brother was tall, the tallest of all the Edain, save his own son Tuor only, and a swift runner. But if the race were long and hard, Hurin would be the first home, for he ran as strongly at the end of the course as at the beginning. There was great love between the brothers, and they were seldom apart in their youth. Hurin wedded Morwen, the daughter of Baragund, son of Bregolas of the house of Beor, and she was thus of close kin to Beren One Hand. Morwen was dark-haired and tall, and for the light of her glance and the beauty of her face, men called her Elethwin, the Elven Fair. But she was somewhat stern of mood and proud. The sorrows of the house of Beor saddened her heart, for she came as an exile to Dorlomin from Dorthonion after the ruin of the Bragolach. Turin was the name of the eldest child of Hurin and Morwen, and he was born in that year in which Beren came to Doriath and found Luthien Tinuviel, Thingol's daughter. Morwen bore a daughter also to Hurin, and she was named Urwen, but she was called Lalaith, which is laughter, by all that knew her in her short life. Huor wedded Rian, the cousin of Morwen. She was the daughter of Belegund, son of Bregolas. By hard fate was she born into such days, for she was gentle of heart and loved neither hunting nor war. Her love was given to trees and to the flowers of the wild, and she was a singer and a maker of songs. 2 months only had she been wedded to Huor, when he went with his brother to the Nirnaeth Arnoediad, and she never saw him again. But now the tale returns to Hurin and Huor in the days of their youth. It is said that for a while the sons of Galdor dwelt in Brethil as foster sons of Haldir their uncle, after the custom of northern men in those days. They often went to battle with the men of Brethil against the Orcs, who now harried the northern borders of their land. For Hurin, though only 17 years of age, was strong, and Huor the younger was already as tall as most full-grown men of that people. On a time, Hurin and Huor went with a company of scouts, but they were ambushed by the Orcs and scattered, and the brothers were pursued to the ford of Brithiach. There they would have been taken or slain, but for the power of Ulmo that was still strong in the waters of Sirion. and it is said that a mist arose from the river and hid them from their enemies, and they escaped over the Brithiach into Dimbar. There they wandered in great hardship, among the hills beneath the sheer walls of the Chrysaegrim, until they were bewildered in the deceits of that land, and knew not the way to go on, or to return. There Thorondor espied them, and he sent 2 of his eagles to their aid. And the eagles bore them up and brought them beyond the encircling mountains, to the secret vale of Tumladin, and the hidden city of Gondolin, which no man had yet seen. There Turgon the king received them well, when he learned of their kin, for Hador was an elf friend, and Ulmo, moreover, had counselled Turgon to deal kindly with the sons of that house, from whom help should come to him at need. Hurin and Huor dwelt as guests in the king's house for well nigh a year, and it is said that in this time Hurin, whose mind was swift and eager, gained much lore of the elves, and learned also something of the counsels and purposes of the king. For Turgon took great liking for the sons of Galdor, and spoke much with them. And he wished indeed to keep them in Gondolin out of love, and not only for his law, that no stranger, be he elf or man, who found the way to the secret kingdom, or looked upon the city, should ever depart again, until the king should open the Liga, and the hidden people should come forth. But Hurin and Huor desired to return to their own people, and share in the wars and griefs that now beset them. And Hurin said to Turgon, Lord, we are but mortal men, and unlike the Eldar. They may endure for long years, awaiting battle with their enemies in some far distant day. But for us the time is short, and our hope and strength soon wither. Moreover, we did not find the road to Gondolin, and indeed we do not know surely where this city stands, for we were brought in fear and wonder by the high ways of the air, and in mercy our eyes were veiled. Then Turgon granted his prayer, and he said, By the way that you came, you have leave to return, if Thorondor is willing. I grieve at this parting, yet in a little while, as the Eldar account it, we may meet again. But Maeglin, the king's sister son, who was mighty in Gondolin, grieved not at all at their going, though he begrudged them the favour of the king, for he had no love for any of the kindred of men. And he said to Hurin, The king's grace is greater than you know, and some might wonder wherefore the strict law is abated for 2 knave children of men. It would be safer if they had no choice but to abide here as our servants to their life's end. The king's grace is great indeed, answered Hurin, but if our word is not enough, then we will swear oaths to you. And the brothers swore never to reveal the counsels of Turgon, and to keep secret all that they had seen in his realm. Then they took their leave, and the eagles, coming, bore them away by night, and set them down in Dor Lomin before the dawn. Their kinsfolk rejoiced to see them, for messengers from Brethil had reported that they were lost. But they would not tell even to their father where they had been, save that they were rescued in the wilderness by the eagles that brought them home. But Galdor said, Did you then dwell a year in the wild? Or did the eagles house you in their eyries? But you found food and fine raiment, and return as young princes, not as waifs of the wood. Be content, father, said Hurin, that we have returned, for only under an oath of silence was this permitted. That oath is still on us." Then Galdor questioned them no more, but he and many others guessed at the truth. For both the oath of silence and the eagles pointed to Turgon, men thought.